Now, all right, what's up, everybody, man? You know what time it is. International Most P on the Hotzone, presented by Legion of Tunes Radio and iHeartRadio. I want to take the moment today and send a big shout out to all the grinders, all the ones who took this opportunity of the pandemic and made it big than what it ever would have been. In this case, we're welcoming a successful artist by the name of Zells World. He has a good story. I can't wait for you to hear it. He has a nice song. I can't wait for you to hear it and more so. But in this moment, I'm done talking. I want to welcome Zells World. It's Zells
Yo,
World.
what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
What happening? What happening? I'm gonna start this off nicely. Say, hey, you have very, very addictive eyes.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey,
What a way to start the interview, right?
that's what I'm about.
Go look at the camera. Come on close so they can see those. But no. So it's Zell's world. I would love to tap in and find out, how did you come up with your name? It's Zell's world. Talk to me.
Man, I think I think all artists struggle with their identity in the beginning and trying to figure out what fits them and what suits them. And just the remedy that always worked for me was not overthinking it. You know what I mean? I've went by the superstar MC at one point. I think after that I started going by Zell Star, and I ain't really like that. And my brother started calling me Zell's World, and he was like, "Man, like that's just." He's like, "Your brand and what you want to do is just bigger than local." He was like, "Man, I'm about to start calling you Zell's World, bro. You just do your own thing." So that's kind of where it started, and I just ran with it from there, man. You know, most people call me Zell, Zells, or you know what I'm saying, Ziggity. That's my other nickname. They call me Ziggity. So Zell's World to me, man, is just letting people know that I'm here to sit in my own lane and just do me. You know what I mean? So
Mission accomplished.
trying to get it.
Mission accomplished, bro. Mission accomplished. So now we got the backstory of your name. It's Zell's World, Zells, Ziggity, all the names you just said. Let's talk about it's Zell's World before it's Zell's World. Where you came from, where you moved. I've read up on you, so I know more, but the listeners might not know yet. So let's walk them down to the baby Zell to the Zell right now.
All right. Well, actually, I'm from Chicago, born in Cook County Hospital,
Wow.
South Chicago. I stayed there for like 10 years, and we moved here to Cincinnati when I was 10. And I stayed here from 10 up until like 20s, like late in 20s. And I moved to Atlanta, you know what I mean? And that's when I kind of started really getting my feet wet in Atlanta. I always say that I was born in Chicago, raised by Cincinnati, but Atlanta made me because I be feeling like
Wow.
Atlanta place that really showed me the bigger picture, if that makes sense. Like, so once I touched foot in Atlanta and I just experienced that, you know what I mean? Like, cause that's the closest thing that we got here. I mean, you know, you got Cali, you got New York and stuff like that, but I feel like Atlanta, it's the closest thing we had to like Hollywood. It's what's called the Black Hollywood. You know what I mean? So just the hustle, the amount of success from Atlanta is ridiculous. Like you would be sitting next to somebody on Tuesday, the next Tuesday they've been famous and blew up just that quick. So you know, so I saw that happen so much. So that's why I always say it's my second home. So, but that's what really made me the artist I am today, pretty much. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like that. And I like how you said born in Chicago, raised in Cincinnati, Atlanta made me. Like that I probably didn't say it like you
That's what it
would say.
was, though. Oh, you know what I mean? So, but that's what I live by. You know what I mean? It's all that place always gonna have a piece of me there because man, like I lost so much to move to Atlanta the first time. I literally lost everything, like homeless, no car, no nothing. It was ridiculous, man. But you know, everybody got to go through that struggling, starving artist thing for the dream sometimes, and some things don't go the way we want to, but it help build character. And it's the person you see sitting in front of you. That's why I say Atlanta made me, boy, because it whooped my ass.
Wow. And it's kind of hard down there when you say Atlanta made you and Cincinnati raised you. What do you feel? Like I can't really say compare to both because they're different. Cincinnati has their own music scene and Atlanta has their music scene. But what did you take from Cincinnati that you know for a fact has separated you from what Atlanta has brought to you when you went there or when you moved there?
I'm gonna say this: like Cincinnati is its own thing. You know what I mean? But the thing about being here in a smaller city and not necessarily no name because Cincinnati actually has a lot of history. You know what I mean? We got a lot of famous people from here like Cat Williams and Carmen Electra, um, Jerry Springer. I think he was like the mayor here or something like that at one point. You got Boosie Collins.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of history here in Cincinnati. The Isley brothers are from Cincinnati. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of history here. So the thing I feel like for us in this era as artists in Cincinnati, I feel like the best thing to do as an artist in Cincinnati is leave. The thing I've learned that helped me being here in Cincinnati, to be honest, is I saw that Cincinnati had a sound and I didn't want to have a sound, if that makes sense. I didn't want to
Yeah.
fit in what everybody else was doing. So the thing that I learned being here is to not fit in and don't be afraid to ride, to begin the wave and not ride the wave. You know what I mean? So that's something that I learned, and that's why my music has always stuck out like a sore thumb because it's something different. You know what I mean? I've always prided myself on that. So I took that to Atlanta and I ran with it. I made a lot of connections there, built a lot of relationships with people. I did a couple movies. I did a soundtrack for a movie. It was years ago. Like I did a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, and even got to tour with a couple of a few famous groups and stuff. So but yeah, that's what I can honestly say though. That I really learned being in Cincinnati that helped me when I went to the bigger areas and the bigger opportunities to perform and network and meet these people. It showed me how to stand out. That makes sense.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So I like how you took that question. You really didn't make it a one way. You really descriptively was transparent. So thank you for being
Oh,
transparent. And on top of that, like you said, creating your own wave, riding your own wave. That right there is huge in this industry. So if somebody, okay, let's do a scenario question. If somebody was like, hey, I got 1 million, I want to sign you on the dotted line, but you got to do this. What would be that will stop you from signing?
um, I guess it depends on the fine print. You know, just reading over them contracts. I mean, these days, if you don't have anybody like an entertainment lawyer to look over documents and stuff, you don't know what's being put in contracts. But if I had to say something that I can think of, the only reason I wouldn't do anything is if I lost the ability to create the way I want to, if that makes sense. That's the one thing that would make me feel like I don't want to do this because
Yes.
I've had opportunities to be signed or be up under certain people and they wanted to basically make me do certain things. And when you're an artist, and I've heard Kanye West say this, I've heard Jadakiss say this, he said you got to figure things out on your own and you don't want to bring people in and start changing your brand. Whatever your brand is what you want your brand to be. So it's certain things that I'm not willing to do. Like I'm not willing to give up the freedom to be creative how I want to. They'll tell you, well, you have to record here, or you have to get beats from this producer, or you have to do this. That's where it get a little difficult. Not saying that I couldn't make it work, but I have charisma, like I said, charisma. I have chemistry with certain producers
Mm-hmm.
that I really like to work with, and I like to keep it that way. I'm one of them kind of people that I believe in. Don't If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix
So
it. Yep.
you know what I mean? I think so many people's career just go bonk because they didn't finish what they started with. You started with this producer, you should finish with them. You know what I mean? Until something else comes up and you can recreate with somebody else. But if it worked for you the first time, just keep it going. So that's why I'm real big on that. So that would be the one reason why I will not sign a record deal, even if it's a million.
I wanted to know, even if it's $1 million, you want your creativity to remain your creativity and your brand.
Yeah.
So you might be like, why this question? Well,
Right.
artists need to know what other artists feel because
Right.
you might inspire them and you never know it. So I'm creating that avenue of transparency and what you call it, guidance that you didn't even know you're giving from your expertise, from your experience, from how true you are to your art. Some don't
Right.
care. They will sign. They don't care. They want that, whatever. But
Right.
I'm happy that you're transparent. So we did all this back talk. We know we talked all the backstory, all this back dialogue. We're going to get into this new single you got, but we
Okay.
can't do it just yet. It's too early. What have you
Okay.
been doing since the kickoff of this pandemic? Let's get into the nitty gritty.
I'm gonna say, I mean, just trying to stay healthy and, you know, taking the proper precautions and stuff like that, and making sure that I keep my loved ones safe. You know what I mean? So, but as far as the music go, you know, I released my album right in the top of the pandemic last year in March. So
Wow.
it was tough. I had a album release party planned. It was about to be packed in there. I had so many people was waiting because I didn't let anybody hear anything that I was working on. I was probably working on my album for like a year and I didn't do anything, you know what I mean? And I just dropped the album last year and it's doing good on its own, actually, you know what I mean? With the little promotion that I put behind it and stuff. The album is doing good on its own. It's called Zells World, the album, available on all platforms too. So it was tricky with COVID because you couldn't do shows, you couldn't meet up, you had to figure out ways to promote yourself via social media. Like I was just telling somebody, that's when TikTok blew up. Everybody in the house ain't got nothing to do but make TikToks.
Yep.
So that's what it was. So it was perfect timing for that. But you know, but it's just still trying to figure out ways to stay viral or stay working in the heat of a pandemic. It was tough, man. I think everybody suffered from it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. It's like the pandemic took a very hard, like entertainment took a very hard hit during the pandemic. And that's including DJs, artists, anybody
Mm-hmm.
in the arts field. They took a massive
Mm-hmm.
hit. So I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to know what you were doing and how your take was on it because I mean, you're an artist, you're
Yeah,
creative, and
yeah,
taking away something that keeps you, your blood pumping is like suicide. So
right,
I love to just always ask that question. That question is gonna be asked for the rest of life, probably. you know.
right.
Um, so we got to that. We know you dropped the album last year. It's doing well on all DSPs. That means all digital platforms, everybody. So definitely check out it's Dale's World Project. Name the project again for us.
It's called Zell's World, the album.
The album, y'all. Zell's
Yeah,
World, the album. And
Zell's
here we
World.
are. You're streamlined to another year. This is around when the pandemic kicked off, too, like early March. And he
Yeah,
dropped a new single for us. It's dropping on March today.
yeah. It dropped today. Actually, today.
March
Yeah.
4th. Yeah, March 4th. And I get an exclusive. So
You
here we are
know
on
it.
the Hot Zone, and we are dropping his new single, Put It Together, featuring YND, produced
Why?
by YDN,
Yeah.
right?
Produced by Mama Named Me Evan. Yeah.
Okay, produced by Mommy Name Me Evan.
Yeah. Mama Named
Young
Me Evan.
A.
He's a well-known producer too. He did a lot. He did Blessings for K Camp. That was like
Okay.
his first. I think that was his first big record. But he did a lot of stuff for Stewie Rock too. So and he did a lot of stuff for Sammy too. He did some on his last like five.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, on his last 5-song EP. I want to say he had like 2 or 3 joints on there. He did with him, so it was slick. So but yeah, that's who I'm rocking with. And like I said, my boy YDN, we pulled down in Atlanta. They came to the studio. We cut the record. This was about shoot. It was about a month and a half ago by the time we did everything. And here we are, you know what I mean? Releasing it March the 4th.
It's a nice record. When I checked that record out, I mean I've heard it multiple times because you're on a good promo run, I must say. Like
Mm-hmm.
you running this record real nicely. I'm like, this doesn't sound like anything else. I mean, you can hear that from everybody. Everybody might say, man, this sounds so different. This is different. But sometimes you don't hear it face to face. Me, I
Mm-hmm.
literally listen to the record front, back, left, right, east, west, north, south, Like whatever. I listen to all the way around. I listen for everything. Creativity, writing, production, where you hit it, your cadence, every
Mm,
part of it. And
yeah.
you hit every one of them with a fucking nail. Sorry to cuss, but you're right. You are transparent and you have your own sound. And I wouldn't know you from Cincinnati. I wouldn't know you from Chicago. I wouldn't even know that you made that record in Atlanta. Like I wouldn't have known because you did not succumb to the tradition of commercial music. So thank you is what I want to say. And I
Right.
say it very passionately. I want you to feel the passion with where I
Man,
described just
I feel it, man, because like you got to think like the original. And I'm gonna tell you like this backstory too, real quick. But the original beat was a YouTube beat. Okay, so I heard the beat. I immediately, as soon as I hear a beat, I start writing in my head. I already know that's it. So I start writing something in my head. And this song that I did, I didn't write anything down. I did everything in my head. It's weird, but yeah, I did everything in my head. So I came up with the first couple bars. It was on the beat, went to the studio, pulled up the YouTube beat and dropped it. I was going to buy the YouTube beat, but you know, it probably had thousands and thousands and thousands of hits. I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to buy it. But me being me, this is why what separates me from everybody else. And the reason why people look at me in a different eye, because I go the extra step. Now, technically, I could have bought that beat and owned it and told anybody else that they can't use it, but it's already out there. So I went ahead, got the session from the engineer in Atlanta, sent it to my brother, Mama named me Evan. He redid it with a whole new, brand new beat. And the reason why I did that, because one, my brother lives in California. He posted a meme listening to the same beat I just recorded to. So I said, shit. So somebody else from another part of the United States did the same thing. I said, I'm not using that beat. I'm not even about to do it. So I went ahead, got the whole entire new beat done, and I made sure it was what it was. I listened to that song, just like you said, like left, right, up, down. I listened to the same thing: cadence, delivery, timing, production, mixing, everything. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I wanted this record to feel like, yo, this is it. Like, you know, I always do that with all my songs, but I wanted to make sure that this one was better than my last single. You know what I mean? So I always go up, up, up. It's never been a hitter. It's never been like, oh, this one cool. It's been, yo, nigga, dang. What? Like you just got them back to back. And I got so much stuff that people ain't even heard yet. I'm just waiting for the right situation to present everything. And that's one of the reasons why I was talking to my homeboy, and he was like, man, you know, everybody is trending or, you know, going viral so easy. But he told me, he said, you know, you just a different artist. You a well-seasoned artist that take time with their things, and you have to be presented a certain way. So that's what I'm waiting on, if that makes sense. So I want a perfection, and I really appreciate you noticing everything. So it's like, once I get that opportunity to be put out on a really big platform, I'm gonna have so much more to say and so much more to do. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. Right. Let me in.
You got that door with your foot on the middle of the door and your hand on the knob, whatever. You got the keys, man. The part about what I really take from you as an artist is that you're not a lazy one. Now, I'm not trying to say that's a bad way. You're not. You never came out that way. Like any record I've heard from you, it really seemed like I would have thought you wrote it. You just told me you didn't even write it. I thought you wrote it. So if your pen game is that good in your mind, that takes you on an echelon. Like some artists can say, yeah, I'm a freestyle artist, and they sound like it's freestyle. Yours sounds like it was written. Like you really, man, you massive. You got something that a lot of people only can imagine. That might sound like it's repetitive once again, because that's what the thing is. But I want to be genuine with you and say, Zells, I've been hip to you, like I said the other day, been hip to you since Swamp put me onto you a long time ago. And I've been watching your trend and how you go about releasing, and you don't oversaturate. Like you have a strategy.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about March 4th.
Nah, I appreciate it. Well, I mean, today, I mean, you know, it's still all good, you know, so I try not to really use my own personal social media to because people do get irritated. That's one of the things you do got to understand. So I'm glad that Facebook and Instagram has promotion opportunities for independent artists to put their songs and, for promotions for independent artists to put their songs, to be promoted inside YouTube's I'm not YouTube, but Instagram's news feeds and stuff like that. Like, I think that's a dope thing. It gives you a platform to be able to promote yourself at your own pace, your own budget, and you don't have to bother nobody. Because me being an artist, I don't like when people tag me and stuff. So I don't tag people in anything unless you are the person involved in that. You know what I mean? I did a feature or something, then of course, but I don't like when people tag me and stuff. It is annoying and it's irritating. So I try to make sure that I strategically do releases. This is the first time that I did an actual release with Fleet. So Fleet was the first people to roll this single out. So the day this blow up, we can sit back and be like, yo, you know what I mean?
We did it. Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Fleet, you know what I'm saying? DJ Most Precious, like, you know what I mean? Swamp and Prestige and everybody else that's rocking with me from Fleet, man. DJ Daz, that's my dog too. So shout out to DJ Daz, man. And so when you look back, you be sitting there like, dag, I remember when it first came out, and look at it now. That's how that shit always go, but the main thing I keep telling myself is that I don't want to stop promoting it. My sister told me, she said, you got you a hit right now. She said, what I want you to do is promote it. Don't give up, promote it. I'm not even promoting my album right now. I'm gonna focus on the single. Yes. People can always go back to the album. You know what I mean?
They'll go back to the album. They'll check this out, and then they'll start zooming and checking out other Zells where, and then they go back to the album. Follow that. That's a trick too. Is like, you don't have to always drop an album all the time. Like, I tell artists, you can drop an album, yes, but then have that single that you put all your effort in that's going to trickle back to your album, because it's less amount of money to promote a single than an album.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, it's so much easier to do because you got so many different things you need for an album. The single is just dedicated to the single. You know what I mean? So you don't really need as much. But when you promote the album, that's 10, 12 songs. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I'm always trying to think of ways to separate myself, even as far as the promotion side goes. And that's really what it boils down to. It's not really just about your marketing strategies, but it's figuring out how to separate yourself from the way everybody else doing. And I've always been professional, and I've always made sure that when I stepped through, I was sharp. You know what I mean? That a person remember.
I see. While you talking about sharp, so I went to your IG page, and you got this nice ass blue, like, jogging outfit on with some dope ass blue shoes.
Oh yeah,
man, you were clean as shit. And I'm trying to cuss on this, but I love blue. My favorite color is blue. But
yeah,
that right there, you were tall giant is what the hell I'm gonna call you. You look like you 6'4" or something.
Nah, I'm 6'3". Yeah, I'm 6'.
I was close.
You was close.
And I ain't never met you.
Yeah, we making that happen this year.
Oh, for sure. I just was like, I got an idea I want to pitch to you, or pitch to Swamp, whatever, about a tour. So I'm gonna talk about that outside this interview.
Okay, so, yeah, that's cool.
So have you ever toured? Like what do you got planned as the pandemic slow down, or have you even planned that far?
The day they allow us to go back outside 100% freely, I plan on just doing a lot of traveling and just trying to always find avenues or platforms to perform, to work with some DJs and try to go to these radio stations and see what do I need to do to get in rotation on the radio. So that's what the next thing to do. I got to figure out some way to get some kind of radio promo run somewhere and just start there for the time being. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm working on now. So yeah.
Okay, I can definitely tell you a suggestion outside of. No, I can say it here. It don't matter. So one suggestion I say about radio promo is start where you at, where your hub is. If you want to go back to Cincinnati, you can do Cincinnati. But you go in there and you talk to them about advertising. You can pay for an ad spot, promote your single, have your single as the back of your vocal, and that counts as promo. On the cheaper side, because to get you into rotation, you're talking about a few grand, and that's system board. It's not
Yeah,
payola I'm talking about. Like, I don't
I,
want people to say, "Oh yeah, you talking about payola." I
I
say the
know.
easiest way for artists to get into radio is to buy ad space. It's the
Mm-hmm.
easiest and the cheapest way to do it, and you still can promote your single that way as the background music of you talking about your own single. So
Yeah,
think about that as a way. Figure out how you can put together a nice ad and pay that $100 and get a good ass spot, a prime spot.
man.
Like,
Look,
just look into
the,
that because
the
you
crazy thing, honest, is the money ain't even the problem. Like, you know what it is having the right connections. At one point, I had a connection for somebody to do the same thing you were talking about. It wasn't payola, but it was like $3,000 for radio promo run with the single, something like that. But it was premature, so I wasn't ready to do it at the time, and it kind of just fell through. If that makes sense, you know, when you things and people tell you this is what it is, you got to do it then.
mm-hmm.
I didn't trying to wait and make sure if it made sense. I was like, ended up missing out on the opportunity, basically overthinking stuff, long story short. So I never thought about what you said, but now that you say that, oh, that's going to get done Sunday.
Yeah, like just a quick idea. I always try to give suggestions because I know it's money might not be an issue, but you always want to get the best amount for your dollar. So
Oh
that's the
yeah.
best amount. Also, billboards. Man, you can get you a nice digital billboard like
Yeah.
that, like
Yeah.
that.
I actually have a connect with the digital billboard people, and I need to actually reach back out with them because I told back out to him because I told him that I would once I got a single that I was really ready to start moving. But I actually was talking to somebody about that.
That's another way. Do different. Go a different route, like you always, like you say you do.
Mm-hmm.
But watch that stuff full circle. So
Yeah.
even though I know somebody be like, hey, you drifted. No, this is all about conversation. I want you guys to know Zell's world. I want his single to be pushed, and we're going to talk about that again before we get out of here. But is there any other special announcements, any exclusives you want to drop here, Jim? You know, anything that we should talk about? Definitely your social media before we get out of here too.
Shoot, not really, man. I just want people to follow me, engage. I do engage back, share stuff, like it. I'm a real humble person, man. I just want to do a lot for other people. You know what I mean? It ain't even just about me. So, just hit me up. You know what I mean? Check me out. You know what I mean? Tune in as much as they can. Follow me on all social media platforms everywhere at It Zells World. You can find me on anything with that ITSZELLSWORLD. It's Zells World up in
Trying to
here.
say
So,
that 3 times. It's Zell's
man,
world. It's Zell's world. It's Zell's world, people.
yeah.
Let's get it. So here on the Hot Zone, we do premiere his new single, Put It Together. I said put it all together. So I almost messed it up. Put It Together featuring YDN.
Yeah.
Produced by Young X, which what's his other name? Brother name.
I'm Amy Evans.
There we go. I'm getting there. That's his name. Shout out to him. I didn't butcher it. I just made it easier for myself. Um, but yes, thank you for bringing your new single to the Hot Zone to me, DJ Most Precious, mostpreciouspromotes.com. I am honored. You got my support. It's a no-brainer. Got to get the drop, all that good jazz, and we're gonna circulate this to the best of our abilities.
I'm gonna get in the studio and do it. So I'm gonna let you know.
Please do. Don't leave me hanging. I need a drop so I can put videos. I can put the song behind it. All that good jazz. That's
I
that's
got
not
you.
even for that's not even for this interview. But in the meantime, everybody, make sure y'all follow It's Zell's World everywhere. It's Zell's World. ITSZELLSWRLD. I had to rap it all the way through, so I wouldn't mess it up. But thank you so much for stopping and giving me the pleasure and the honor to speak to you and your humble being, man. I really appreciate it.
Nah, I'm just blessed for you to even be able to be interviewing me. I'm still low on the totem pole trying to find.
No, stop. I'm stopping you. No, no, you're not. Your whole demeanor says superstar, bro. So you
Man,
superstar status.
I appreciate it,
You
man.
know,
For sure.
you ain't no low total, whatever you just said. I stopped you before you even finished the damn statement.
Hey,
You
look,
know,
nah,
you
yeah,
your humbleness is amazing and it's gonna take you far. So thank you once again. You're a superstar, man. You ain't no low totem pole. What the hell you just said? Like, no, man. Fuck no. Appreciate you. You still there?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I appreciate that for sure.
Okay, cool. So that's
What's up, man? It's your boy Zells World. Here to premiere my new single, Put It Together, featuring myself and my homeboy YDN, produced by Mama Named Me Evan, aka Young X. I hope y'all enjoy it. For sure.
She got the money maker. I got them pesos. It's enough money to go around. That's why it's a bankroll. You say that it's all yours. We know that it's paid for. And y'all don't really give a damn. I still have been a frame like Mickle. Giving up ain't an option. All I do is take risks. Keep settling suicidal. All these cuts on my wrist. You would never stop the flow. Hey, I'm a plug and a drip. I met Shorty once, twice, and she still on my dick. I make it hit off the hit. You make it shit off the shit. Ooh, the record label should've dropped your ass off and put you right on to this. I met the chick at the bar. She want me to give her a tip. Told her to meet me outside by the whip. I got some for your lips. Wake up early in the morning, what your bitch like? Check the mirror after yawning, what your drip like? When you check your mobile banking, what your chips like? Is you hopping in the foreign, what your whips like?
Yeah, she like how I put it together. Vintage Dior, the sweater. I fuck on her too, or better. My kids cost two or better. She like how I can get a I put the shit I put together. She looking at me like the damn. She like how I put it together. Diamond wrap on my wrist like a light. The cops may be running a light. Dodge a daytime, I fuck at night. In the feelings, it's gonna be alright.